Here's why video marketing is no longer optional for businesses in 2025. With over 80% of the global internet traffic now being video content, businesses must adapt if we want to stay competitive. So, video consumption is continuing to rise and dominate online activity. You'll notice that platforms are prioritizing video over any other content. So, in this episode of Content Catalyst, I want to share with you some updates and some things that I want you to consider for your marketing activities this year if you want to, stay competitive, stay ahead of what's happening and adapt essentially to what's happening. And I know there's a saying that is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But that doesn't apply to marketing. And the reason is because I can tell you I've been doing this for over 3 decades. And if I didn't adapt in my marketing approach over that time, I would still be sending a fax. So I really want you to grab a pen and paper and write down a few of these notes that I'm going to share with you today, because things are changing online, especially to do with AI. And I want to give you those nuggets so you can stay ahead and provide further support and training for you as you need it so you can continue to grow your business this year. Hey, before we jump into the episode, I want to invite you along to a free training to learn video editing for beginners. Now, we use CapCut Desktop for this particular reason, because I find that I have used editing on my phone for years, and it's great. It's really convenient, but it's actually slow and clunky, and especially if you've got big fingers or bad eyesight. So I want to invite you along to a free training so you can actually learn how to edit fast and easy using your desktop. Now, we use CapCut, and CapCut I love because not only can you use it across all devices, including Android, iPhones, on your mobile device, but you can also use it on your desktop, whether it's PC or Mac. It's got a really user-friendly interface, and it's also got advanced editing features as well. So if you want to join me for video editing for beginners, the details are in the show notes. All right, let's jump into the episode. Okay, so video consumption is dominating online. And the thing is that platforms know this, and they know that it's what holds people's attention. And that's why platforms are prioritizing video over content more than ever. So let's just have a look at a little quick snapshot of what's happened recently. So LinkedIn launched their dedicated video feed on mobile. So now they're actually prioritizing video content. So that's something that I would definitely recommend jumping on. Instagram and Facebook, they definitely prioritize Reels, and it's the fastest way to reach non-followers. YouTube. So YouTube has actually emerged as the #1 podcast listening platform, and video podcasts are on the rise. And in fact, they've doubled in the last year, people listening to video podcasts. So if I think about also YouTube, while we're on that, shorts have also been another dominant focus with YouTube, and they've actually extended their shorts to 3 minutes now. TikTok, well, I know there's been a lot of things happening with TikTok at the moment, and with everything going down in America over the last week, it really does make us sit there and question our marketing strategies. In Australia here, we weren't affected by it, but at any stage, we can be affected by it. And I'll talk about this more as we go through the episode. But I want to say the impact of TikTok for the American market was huge, because it just has such a massive following. I mean, there's like 170 million users in the US. So I'll keep you posted what happens. But right now, with the new president coming in, he has granted another 90 days while they figure out the buyout. Essentially, what the president has said, that they want to own 50%. So to me, that says it's actually not about the privacy laws. It's actually about they want a slice of the pie. But that's another story. Before we go down that whole TikTok rabbit hole, I want to talk just about video in general. Okay, so here's the thing. As I said, like over 80% of global internet traffic is video content. That is just huge when you think about it. Okay, and the average user spends over 100 minutes daily watching online videos. Go into your phone and you'll be able to see your activity of online video usage on your apps and things like that. And it'd be interesting to see how much time you spend online watching videos. I know I do. I spend a lot of time online watching videos, and that's because obviously it's part of what I do as a marketing and video marketing strategist. But certainly that it's very easy to consume video content, especially when you're in a learning phase. All right, let's look at this. Video engagement rates far outweigh all other content online, which is why these platforms prioritize video, because they know that video keeps people on their apps longer. So let's look at that in a little bit more detail with the algorithms. So algorithm preferences. Now, when it comes to, I know like Instagram, there was a lot of discussion about carousels and static images getting more attention again, and that they were prioritizing it. Yes, they have. But in comparison to video content, if I look at all of my insights data from my own account and my clients' accounts, Reels are still the number one way for you to reach a larger audience and especially new followers. So from that point of view, I'm going to say, as much as they say that they, show you carousels and they will help rank your content, I'm not saying not to do that content by any means. I'm just saying that the majority of your content on social media, such as Facebook and Instagram, needs to be video first. And this is where it comes down to, if your competitors are not posting, or they're posting a static Canva tile up there that has very little context, then you're posting video content, you are going to accelerate your authority, the trust factor, expertise, and have a much better connection with your online community, essentially. So let's look at the numbers when it comes to video marketing and businesses who use it. So 66% higher qualified leads per year is what businesses are reporting. 93% say video helps customers understand products. 80% increase in conversion rates when using video. So this is some data that's coming out about the success of video. I know myself from my own businesses and from businesses that I've worked with, how much video has impacted the growth and the connection of the community and conversion into sales. So I'm speaking firsthand of a business that I worked with. We were very prominent using video. As soon as it business dropped down. I know myself, when I look at doing video content, I can see the direct correlation between the content that I create and the sales that it generates. So let's talk about the types of videos that you can use in your marketing that will generate results. I spoke about this in my previous podcast episode about the trend for this year with short form content, and definitely short form content is a priority for YouTube, which is why they've extended their shorts to 3 minutes. LinkedIn is another good example I mentioned before, where they've now got a mobile feed and they're prioritizing vertical videos. So I got an email from LinkedIn saying this is what they want when you post videos. So they want videos under 3 minutes. They want preferably 2 minutes. They want vertical format, so not horizontal, vertical. So it's mobile optimized, and they want content that is informative and value and adds value. So these are some of the things that LinkedIn is now pushing out there. So jump on it. Okay, TikTok. Now in Australia, TikTok certainly hasn't had the popularity of America. And I have been watching this unfold over the last couple of weeks, for months really following it, but certainly over the last couple of weeks. On the weekend, last weekend, I was literally watching TikTok go down, and the messages that the Americans were talking about of the impact that it's had on their businesses. So One of the things when we look at the different platforms, each platform has their own nuance and culture of the style of videos that you want to be creating. So let's look at the style of short form videos that you can create. So again, that's why I'm saying TikTok, it's very authentic and raw. In fact, the less polished the video, the better in many ways. Like there's very low production value with a lot of the content that I see. It's very conversational. It's very opinionated. And when I say opinionated, it's people giving their perspective on something. And I was having this conversation with one of my members the other day when we were talking about where her ideal audience is. And I said, actually, they're on TikTok. And she's like, really? I never thought that. I thought that was just for 17-year-old kids dancing. And I'm like, absolutely not. It's definitely aged up. And what's actually happened in the last week since America had that, they went down for 17 hours, okay? But it was literally the end of the world for many businesses in America, like small businesses and artists. All of a sudden, all these Australians and Canadians and UK people from around the world were starting to see more of their content. So there's actually a bit of a movement over there of people getting more visibility from, like, if you're an Australian. So it is still a platform to jump on. Now, TikTok Shop was introduced over in America. It's about to launch here now in Australia. So it has had massive success. So again, that's another thing that I'm going to get you to keep an eye out. Okay, Instagram Reels. This was from the head of Instagram. He did a post a couple of days ago of what makes a great reel, and I'm going to read what he mentioned. Okay, so there were about 6 things that he mentioned. Okay, first of all, no watermarks. Do not post a video. So if you've created a video over on TikTok, do not then go and post it over on Instagram with the watermark, because they do not like it. And this is why I always recommend to create your content in your camera and then edit it in something like CapCut. So then you can not only repurpose it, but you don't have to worry about downloading and uploading and then trying to get rid of a watermark. So no watermark. Less than 3 minutes long. Now, they've just this week extended the life of Reels to 3 minutes. In saying that, they don't want you to spend 3 minutes on Reels unless it's really engaging content. So less than 3 minutes. Music. Think about when you are creating your content, they love you to use their music and dynamic audio were the words he said. Post regularly. Now, we know that this is a big thing, post regularly. Now, if you only post 3 times a week, but you post schedule is consistent, that will matter more than doing content all over the place, is what they're saying. And that's probably been my big downfall, is that I post consistently, but not at 10 o'clock every day, for example. So that's something that, I can potentially look at in going, can I, get more of a regular schedule? Posting a consistent theme. So this is something that I am deep down a rabbit hole now with our Content Catalyst members. For the next 90 days, we're working on our customer journey, and that's our product offers. And in February, we are looking at developing a signature series. What is a signature series? Well, it is repeatable formats of content that, like a playlist, a style of content that people get known for. So I think of, and again, Trini London, Woodall is great for this. She's got a series that she does each week called Closet Confessions, where she, talks about how to style different clothes and things like that. So that's an example of a series. Doing part 1s and part 2s and part 3s is something that is a repeatable format, for example, and it keeps people binging your content because there's more of it to come. All right, so that's the next one. And the last one he said is experiment. So just to recap what the head of Instagram said for to make good reels, to optimize your reels: no watermarks, less than 3 minutes, music, post regularly, post consistent themed content, and then experiment, because what worked a few months ago may not work now, with the algorithm always changing. All right, so that is Instagram. I noticed that there's a much more curated approach, and what's really interesting, so if I compare, I've been experimenting with different styles of content over on TikTok, for example, and then I went over the other day and I rarely, I do more talking head videos, but the other day I was just tired and I was just like, I don't know, pulled out some B-roll. I threw up some text on there and it was a 4-second video and it's gotten thousands of views. So it was the old post that I wasn't going to post that did really well. And because I was talking about my video editing for beginners, it got lots of comments in my DMs, people wanting to watch the training. All right, Facebook. Facebook again is prioritizing video content. There's a lot of repurposed content from Instagram over on Facebook. One of the things that I have noticed though, that if you actually upload your videos directly into Facebook, it actually does really, really well. So just think about playing around with that style of content. I'm a bit lazy where I do have the Instagram feeding my reels into Facebook, but yeah, I have played around with uploading them directly in there in different styles, and they work really well. All right, YouTube Shorts. So YouTube, I am big double down on this year because I know what's happening with AI search engine optimization, and YouTube ticks all the boxes because it's got video content and it's got transcription content. So it makes it really easy for search engines to crawl those videos for the right specific answers. So it can give the answer to people asking questions. So that is why YouTube is such a valuable platform for me. And the style of content that I'm posting is very much how-to content as well as my video podcast. I want to say, so they extended shorts from 60 seconds to 3 minutes, which is an interesting tactic for them to do. But there's a lot of people getting great success from shorts. Shorts are a great way to tease your long-form content as well. So repurpose your video podcast short clips, for example, in there. And YouTube also allows creators to link their shorts directly to their long form content. And of course, you have the opportunity to monetize over there on YouTube. So it's definitely worth looking at that as part of your strategy. Like I said, it's definitely my video first strategy for this year, because I know that if I spend the time making quality content on YouTube that is got a well-researched topic, title, hook, and show notes in there that are optimized for SEO, I know that I can take that one video and I can turn it into 15 to 20 pieces of content marketing across multiple platforms for the week. So from an economic point of view, if you are short on time, taking the time to create one long form piece of video will definitely give you more bang for your buck. Now, one of my members asked me today, they're like, well, how long is long form content? Long form content is like short form content is classed as, say a 30-second reel. And it's also short in shelf life. So if you think of it like that, if I post an Instagram reel, I don't expect that video to have a long shelf life. However, if I go over to YouTube and I post a video on there and it's say 4 minutes long or 5 or 10 minutes or an hour, that video has the potential to keep getting views years and years afterwards. And if you're monetized, then you can also earn money from videos that were made years and years ago. It's quite incredible. So YouTube is definitely something that I would highly recommend putting on your video marketing strategy for the year. All right, so let's look at some recommendations based on short form length, because that's the other question I get asked a lot is, how long should my videos be? So short form content, let's say we're doing reels. So if you think about educational content, stick to say under 30 seconds. 20 to 30 seconds is that nice sweet spot where you can give a really good hook to talk about the problem and then provide a solution and a call to action. Focus on one single concept or problem in your video when you are doing educational content. Entertaining content, think of it as shorter again. So 7 seconds to 15 seconds is what's working for the platform when it comes to entertaining content on short form. And it's very dependent on hook-driven, pattern interrupting content. What do I mean by that? Make sure you've got a really compelling hook. Now, we talk about hooks being the first 3 seconds of your video, but it's not just what you say, it's also what you do, which is a pattern interrupting. That's why you'll often see people moving or picking things up or any kind of, attention getting of an action. And then, of course, your text on screen. So they're the 3 types of hooks that you can use in your videos. And then we have product showcases. So if you were a business and you had a product, again, we just want to talk about the feature. Like if you're going to do a quick feature highlight, we want to talk about the benefits over the features, and we want to stick to say 15 to 20 seconds is ideal for product showcases. Now, I noticed that there's a lot more creators that come up in my feed that are doing more special effects editing, and it certainly helps to grab attention and hold attention. And I've started being more mindful to do more of it in my videos as well. So educational content. What sort of educational content is there? All right, so there's how-to videos. Think of YouTube as your how-to go-to. Now, it's a great way. You can do how-to videos from comments. So if somebody has made a comment on your video or someone else's video, they're great to do green screens. So you're, got the thing in the background, whether it's an image or a video, and then you're in the front commenting on it. So it's how to do this based on this comment that someone said. And again, that's why I'm saying show, don't tell, and be very visual in your demonstrations, and always end with actionable takeaways. What do they do afterward? And that is always the important thing with how-to videos. Okay, product demonstrations, I just mentioned. What we want to do is focus on the benefits over the features, and show the product being used is really important, and give common usage of things that would be every day. Okay, so industry insights. Back it with claims. And the other thing is with the current data, and that's why I'm saying this is actually really good for ideal green screen content, where you give your perspective on something. So you go over to things like Reddit, type in your topic and then screenshot that, and then you can actually give your feedback on something. Obviously, there's a lot of online insights for me as a video marketer over the last week. So I've been doing a lot of, perspective sharing from that. All right. So behind the scenes content. So behind the scenes content is a really powerful way to help build that community and connection with your followers. And it helps to share your brand story. So this is the thing. I've worked in the wine industry for many, many years. And one of the things is, you get people say, oh, why would I spend $40 on a bottle of wine when I can go to the supermarket and buy it for 10? And it's like, we don't buy on price a lot of the time. We buy on emotion. And so it's so important for you to express the value of what that product is by sharing the story. Because I can tell you now, I had someone come to quote to do my garden maintenance, and they were a female team, and I'm like, cool, that's great, I love it because they've got great attention to detail. And then she said, we actually use electric equipment, so it's not noisy and distracting. Because I said, oh, don't come on this day because I've got video calls. And she said, you won't even hear us, we're super quiet because we use electric equipment. And then they started talking about their heritage and how they got into gardening, and I'm like, that story needs to be told. And when you can show those behind the scenes of you showing what you do, it helps people to get more invested in your brand and your story. Stories sell. And this is why it's so important when you are talking about and showing what you do with behind the scenes content, that you take people on a journey with that. So there's different ways with behind the scenes content. You can literally get your phone and set it up on a tripod, stick it in the corner, and film yourself either making wine and crushing grapes, or running a Pilates class. So this is the kind of thing that you can do to show B-roll content without you actually having to talk. And then the other thing is perspective behind the scenes content. And that's where you literally get your phone from a point of view, so POV, and you could be walking through your factory or walking through your shop or walking through the experience of what you do. and commentating on it and giving a voiceover of it. And it's a really powerful way to take people on a journey as well and give them that bird's eye view. So think about behind the scenes content being more than just B-roll. Context is really important when you are sharing videos as well. So you actually take them on a journey. Doing team videos are great, but I like avoid the whole, hi, my name is, and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, think about authentic experiences. Ask them a question that might relate to how their customers might use it or their problems that they face, their customers face, and share that insight. That's really powerful. All right. The other thing is a process explanation. And that's why I'm saying if you're a winery, it's like, yeah, you go and pick some grapes. Yeah, you go into the winery and you'll weigh it and crush it and start processing. But what we don't know is the story behind the vineyard. And how old are those vines? How was it handpicked or was it machine picked? Did you have a big crop or was it a small crop? How did the weather affect you? Think about telling that story of the process, because when it comes to, especially with production and manufacturing and farming and anything to do with how we grow things, taking people on that journey is really, really important. So we appreciate the value of artisan producers over mass-produced things. So the focus is on then more authentic, and it's more valuable to the person. They see the value of what goes into making that product. All right, so getting started with video. What do you need? What do you actually need? You don't need anything fancy. All you need is the phone in your pocket. If you go into your settings, you can go into your camera settings, change your settings up to 4K, and then all of a sudden you've got yourself a 4K video. If you're doing short form content, film vertically. If you're not sure and you want to repurpose it for maybe your website or YouTube content, it's better to shoot horizontally and come out a little bit further to give yourself a little bit of room to crop in. So when I film this video for YouTube, for my podcast, I try and come out a little bit. So therefore, when I go to repurpose for short clips, I'm going to chop in. I'm not sort of right up against the camera. So think about that. All right. So this is all you need. Pull out your phone, press record. You've got to get going, and then you get good. And I think that's the biggest thing when we start to press record. We're full of perceived judgment from other people, what they're going to think, what are they going to say? I'm terrible on camera. I hate the way I look. These are all the things that we have to navigate. And that's the reason why I put Content Catalyst membership together, because I wanted to help people through that hesitation to get started making video and then be able to get good making better video. So when it comes to, yes, you can use your phone to start making video. All you need is a tripod. You can go to Kmart and go and get a $25 tripod that I've got my camera up on now. This is a little selfie stick. Like, this is $15 from Kmart, and I literally have that in my bag all the time. Like, I always have one of these in my bag. It pulls out as a little tripod so I can put it anywhere. It's got a remote, so it goes up to 1 meter high. This is the best thing ever. And if you're listening to this podcast, I'm just holding up a little selfie stick, and that's the best investment. I can even chuck that in my pocket if I'm going for a walk. That's how small and compact it is. The next thing, if you are going to invest into any equipment, I would always recommend investing into good audio. Good audio will make such a difference to the quality of your video. Now, when I was training how to make, video years ago, one of the things that I was told is people will watch bad quality video, they will endure it, but when it comes to poor audio, they'll switch off. So, what I want you to think about is making sure that you invest in a microphone. You can get some really look. I love Rode. They're an Australian company. They're like world class as far as their audio equipment goes, so microphones. But even if you just go and get yourself a little $15 lavalier mic, a little corded mic from Officeworks, it'll still do the job. Done is always better than perfect, and then upgrade as you go along. So microphones definitely go in. And if you're doing a video podcast, for example, again, Kmart, $25, you can go and get their gaming mic. I've got a gear guide on my website where I'll put that details in the show notes if you want to set up your studio for under $100. The next thing is lighting. Now, good lighting, like good audio, will make you look and sound better, and it'll also make your videos look more professional as well. So again, you don't need to spend a lot of money. If all you've got is a ring light from Kmart, then just do that. And then I would recommend upgrading to softbox lights, because especially if you wear glasses, they make a huge difference to your quality of your videos. Editing software is the next thing. So we've got your camera in your pocket, get a tripod. You don't need anything fancy. Audio, make sure you get a good mic and some lighting. And then the next thing is editing. Again, you don't need anything fancy. I use CapCut. Now, I've used pro versions of editing suites before. I switched to CapCut last year when I started doing video editing sessions inside Content Catalyst membership, because I wanted something that could work across all the devices, and it was simple and easy to use. And it's also got awesome special effects in there with AI editing capabilities. So it just makes it so much quicker and easier. So that's why I love using CapCut. I've got a free training, which I'll put in the show notes if you want to get started using it. All right. So the next thing that I'm going to encourage you to do is content planning. Now, content planning, it's great to just start making videos, and that's how you get good. But one of the things, as soon as you are going to start creating video, is create a content marketing strategy. Make a strategy so you know your objectives, your goals, so you're not just making content that doesn't resonate with your audience and get you results. And a plan will help you execute it and deliver it. Okay, so that's the difference. That's the reason why I created Content Catalyst Blueprint, which is a content marketing strategy that you can do yourself. It's a self-paced program. One of my members she joined a couple of days ago. In the first day, she's finished her blueprint, and now she's ready to jump into the sessions. So a good content marketing strategy will align with your business goals. It will help you and your team know what to create, when to create it. It's a clear roadmap of where and how. It will also give you the tools on how to repurpose your content and keywords to optimize your content. It will help you know what topics to talk about, how to research the content, platform-specific strategies as well, because like I said, the nuances of TikTok videos compared to Instagram videos is so different. So you want to make sure that you are adapting your content appropriately and repurposing it equally. All right. And then having a content calendar is so important as well. So you know what content to make, where your lead magnets are going to, and things like that. All right. Content is one of the most powerful ways for you to tell your story, create a community of followers that you can then convert into customers. And I have seen it firsthand for years and years and years. And that's why, as a marketing strategist, I went deep diving into how to leverage video, because I've seen it make such a difference in businesses. And when you stop using it, you can really see the difference. And so that is what was my mission. These days, I'm also leveraging AI so we can shortcut that process. I look about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, how I used to edit compared to now. My workflow is so different because we've got AI and video to really help accelerate small business owners. So you don't need big budgets. And this is the thing, when it comes to limitations making videos, I want to think about, what is the budget constraint? Nothing. You can start making videos now with your phone. You don't need any fancy equipment. You don't even need a microphone. You don't even need lights. You can go outside and start making videos. So take that off the table. Obviously, your videos are going to be so much better with good gear. But like I said, you don't need a lot of money in that investment to start with. The biggest limitation from people is time. Video takes time. It takes time to plan, research, it takes time to record, and it takes time to edit and produce. In saying that, you've got to know the shortcuts. And that is literally been my mission, is to know the shortcuts. Have a plan, have AI tools to help you shortcut, have rinse and repeat, repeatable formats for editing. I go into edit on my desktop over my phone because I can edit 10 times faster on my desktop. I can duplicate previous projects and just literally insert the new video in, and everything else is already in there. Have a brand kit set up so you've got your look of your style, your signature series ready to go. The other thing that I have also witnessed over the years is staff. Okay, so in business and making content, it's generally always fallen to the marketing department. And that's true. Yep, I get it. But now everyone in your business is a content creator. If you're a restaurant, your staff are content creators. If you are in a hotel, your staff are content creators. If you're a coach and you have team, you are all content creators. It doesn't matter what your business is. It's really important to think about that. How can you empower your team to also lighten the load of creating content? Because at the end of the day, it's more powerful to document what you do than and share that experience and tell the story and add context to that than it is to do full blown out productions. And I know this. We've spent thousands of dollars on well-produced videos in the past, and I'm not saying not to do that. I'm just saying you don't need to do that. What you need is for your team to collaborate and create and document content in their day-to-day operations that can be centralized to then the marketing department, so then they can edit it and outsource it or whatever. So this is where I say, gone are the days where marketing is the marketing department is the only people who are responsible for content. We're all responsible for content. And when you go, I don't have time, it's not that we don't have time, it's that we haven't made time to prioritize it. The quickest form of content that you can just whip out to let people know your shop is open, your cafe is open, your winery is open, whatever it is to literally go on and go to Instagram, click a story, talk to camera, or show what you're doing and post a story. That will help engage your current followers. The other alternate is go over, click a live, and do the same thing. That'll go out to current and existing followers. And you don't even have to edit. Like, I do lives when I'm on the go because I don't have time to edit. I'll just make a quick live so I can still share my message. So when it comes to staffing, think about who can you get to support you in content creation. Technical skills, well, this is coming back to empowering your staff as well, is I work with people who have a lot of virtual assistants, and what I encourage them to do is actually come along to our trainings each month. So you empower all of your team to know. And like I said, the more people feel empowered, the more they'll own it and just get in there and get it done. So video editing is one of the biggest skills, and that's why I've got a series of how to edit for beginners at the moment. Sound mixing. So when I talking about audio before, often I see people, especially in the outdoors and it's really windy. Tech now is so good on, like, say, CapCut. I can go in and fix up a really noisy audio video. So good. Same with lighting. I can even fix bad lighting. So the more you empower your team to know how to edit videos and have that rinsable, repeatable format, it will save time and money, and you'll get better quality. All right, that's all for me of this episode. Remember, the reason why we want to share video content is because apart from standing in front of someone, video is the next best thing for you to communicate what you do. So when I help you make more video and you then confidently show up on camera, and not even confidently, just show up on camera and do it messy, you have the opportunity to impact someone else's life with what you do. And in many cases, it's life-changing. Okay, so your message matters, and it's so important that you share that and learn the skills to do it, because like I said, video is so much more important now than ever, and you want to make sure that you have the skills so you can get better. Here's the thing, right? We cringe at ourselves on video, but I want to give you permission to make really, really messy videos. And I had this discussion with one of my members a couple of days ago where we were like, no, just I don't have time. And I'm like, here's your window of how you can habit stack making content. So when you go for your walk along the beach in the morning, that's when you're going to create a video. Quickly, whip out your phone. Give a perspective of what you're thinking and feeling, right? So that is what I highly recommend, is try and document as you go. I have a tripod that sits to the left of my camera here. And so that is my signal when I come in the morning to put my phone on it and make a story and share a story. So then I go, tick, it's done for the day. I know I go live on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for that reason, because it's just my little thing of how I can communicate. Batching up content, repurposing content, building a content library of content will help you make content easier. And the most important thing is have a content marketing strategy so you know what you're making is actually resonating with your audience. And then beyond that, the most important thing is to actually just press record. Remember, done is always better than perfect. Do it messy. And it's important to just get going so you can get good. All right, that's all from me. I'm Deb Szabo. If you want to know more how to create video, check out the details in the show notes. Until the next episode, bye-bye.